we go again, Josh.
Here we go. We have another episode of Q&A. You guys keep coming at us with these great questions. So let's go ahead and get it started.
What system would you suggest for a cat bulldozer, and what benefits would I see from one of your fuel systems?
There's too many variables on that question to answer. Please call our tech department, 636-433-5410, option, I don't know which one.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, they will direct you to exactly which system you're needing. And like you said, there's a lot of variables, fuel flow rate, everything.
Okay, and the benefits that you're going to see depends on which cat that you have. If you have the cat with barrel and plungers, man, you're going to see a lot of horsepower. You're going to see some fuel economy. And if you're not seeing a fuel economy, you're going to see production, okay? We did a Vulcan mine down north Chattanooga, and they got fuel mileage, and it was on a Huey engine, so it's unit injector. But on that engine that we don't get as much horsepower increase, usually there's variables in here, okay? Sometimes we can, but on that unit injected engine, we picked up a gear on the hills, and I think that was a 70-ton truck.
Wow.
Please don't, so they went from climbing the grade in second gear to third gear, and I don't know how many more trips that got them, but that's production, okay? So that's where it can help you. Also, go to our article about air and fuel, and we're going to talk about the insurance in that of your injection system. Also, it depends on if you're operating year-round and where you're running, because you might let that tractor sit for a while, that dozer sit, and you might be operating in North Dakota and you got to start that beast, okay? And if you have our unit on there with our strong pumps that we have, you know, this pump here and or this bigger pump, you're going to be more apt to start that thing right up, because we're pushing that gelling fuel up to the engine. So when it fires over, it's loaded, the gears are loaded, the fuel gears, to put fuel in the injector.
And then add that with one of our electric heater options. You have the ultimate cold weather.
Well, hell, if you put them all on there, you just start in Antarctica. If you can turn the engine oil. So, but yeah, there's some good benefits. We've done it on those. And if you're an underground mine operating, then you're worried about the opacity.
Yeah. And
we've lowered opacities. So call us up and they'll get you, I'd like them to get hold of one of our outside sales guys, because they're more in tune with those different operations, and they can get you to Jeremy, Steve, Randy, or Bill.
Why would I go to the trouble of using the factory pickup module when I could just drill a hole and install a sump?
That is an excellent question. So on the low pressure systems, the early Duramaxes, the 9L5Ps, so 16 and earlier, and most of the Cummins applications, a sump works just fine, right? Drawing and returning to the fuel tank module is still going to get you better performance on operating in low fuel than running a sump. Now, a sump can cause issues with the high pressure systems like the Fords and the new Duramaxes, because once say you're at a quarter tank and you're accelerating, there's no baffles in the tank. So the fuel's gonna slosh to the back on acceleration out of that sump, and the FASS can suck air and it's going to lose prime. Or on the brakes, it sloshes forward, again, it can lose prime. Setting the FASS up with the fittings that are supplied in most of our kits now, with Signature Series, you'll just the FASS will draw the fuel from the fuel tank module and return the fuel to the fuel tank module, so you can run it down to 0 miles until empty, like a factory, just like factory.
What Josh is saying, real simple, is that if you put it in the way that we send it out, because we want the best. My nickname is Triple B, bigger, better, better, okay? We look for the best way to do it, okay? The problem with the sump, besides what Josh said, is also catching debris and ripping it off, okay? Which is why they got rid of the crossover lines on semis, that crossover line, because the debris taking that off and you dump the fuel, okay? That's one. Secondly, but when we draw out of the sump, the factory sump, we will outperform the low-level performance of not dying over any sump out there.
And the fittings are all supplied with the kits. There's no need to purchase an extra sump. And we sell sumps, and we don't even want to, we don't even want to sell you the extra one in that case. So
we're following what's best for you, not what's best for our pocket.
If I'm swapping a 24 valve Cummins into a square body Chevy, can I still use the system for the 24 valve, or do I need to buy parts from the Chevy kit as well?
That's a good question. So on your 24 valve, This depends on if we're talking, if you're doing a P pump 24 valve, sticking with the VP44, or if this is going to be a common rail 24 valve, you're going to want to use, now not every fitting is going to work from the kit because, you know, we're mixing the engine.
Well, we already know
truck.
that he wrenches.
Right, right.
Okay, so, you know, he didn't just do an oil change and the engine fell into the other truck.
Yeah, I would do the Dodge kit for that engine year, and you know you'll have to make a couple adjustments to fittings, but that would
But
be
call
your
our
best
customer,
option.
our tech department.
Yeah.
636-433-5410, and I don't know which option, so.
I just bought a 2022 Power Stroke. Do you have fuel systems available? And if not, do you know when they will be?
We are currently working on the kits for the 2022, and we should have those available here shortly.
Now, have we put it on and prototyped it and everything?
We have.
Okay,
We have.
so we don't need one?
Right,
we need
right.
an
We
extra
don't
truck?
believe, no, we believe it's going to be the same kit.
Okay, but do we need to make sure? Because maybe he can call me and call us and bring his truck in.
We have verified
Okay.
fitment, so.
Hey, I tried to get you one.
With the 140 gallon per hour work on a 1997 Power Stroke, I'm willing to make my own lines and get fittings to make it work. I just didn't know what fuel system to get.
Yes, I would go with the 140 gallon per hour system, specifically the TSF 14140G, and you can adapt it to make it work on your OBS.
Good answer. That's one of the easiest questions we have today.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good answer.
A friend of mine has a FASS system for sale that came off of his 2002 Duramax. Can I buy it from him and use it on my 2002 Cummins?
Pretty close.
Yeah, it's the pressure's different. The motor's going to be the same setup, you know, depending on what flow rate it is. But to be quite honest, and this is not just because we want to sell you a kit, but you'd be better off just buying the whole kit because it's going to come with, it'll be, I'm not sure what system that is, but this will be a new Signature Series system with our extreme water
That's where I was gonna
separator.
go.
And we've made a lot of changes to the Signature Series.
But if it is a Signature Series, call
Yeah.
us and we can set you up with the parts
Right.
and do it. But if it's an older unit, our Signature Series is well worth the difference.
Right, and the whole kit get shipped right to you, and it'll come with every single component you need to install it.
My truck is bone stock. Do I need your fuel system, and what are the benefits of adding it to a stock truck?
I built this on a stock 444 Cummins. Okay, that's what we started out with. Fuel air separation is on a stock truck. Let me tell you where not to buy buy a unit. If you drive 15,000 miles a year with and I'm going to assume a stock pickup truck, and if you're driving 15,000 miles a year, you're doing no tunes to it, you don't live in cold weather where it can help you, and you're going to be under warranty and keep it under warranty and then get rid of that truck and you can have it for 3 years, don't buy us. Unless you just want to be cool. All right. But if you're driving miles and you're going to keep that truck because of what Biden is doing to us, and a lot of people are going to be keeping their trucks, and you're doing that, you live in cold weather, you drive a lot of miles, that's reasons to purchase us. There are reasons not to purchase and put air separation on, okay? So that's my answer.
How do I know when I need to change my fuel filters? Will there be some sort of indicator light, or how else will I know?
Well, the typical service interval that we recommend with clean fuel is
I like how you qualify that.
right with
Okay.
clean fuel.
I was kind of making a highlight so you heard that part.
It's 20 to 30,000 miles, right? Now, if you run into dirty fuel or heavily contaminated fuel with a lot of water into it, that's obviously going to drastically cut down on your filter service interval.
And you'll be able to start feeling the performance. You should be able to. I think some people you could give 100 more horse to and they wouldn't feel it, or take 100 away and they might
Right.
not know it. But if you're in tune with your truck, you should start feeling it and pull away. But there's a way to know exactly when to change that filter.
Fuel pressure gauge.
Not a Glow Pro.
No. A good fuel pressure gauge. Your fuel
Odometer.
Autometer, ISPro. There's some other companies out there as well, but no Glow Shift or Max Tow. You'll notice excessive fuel pressure drop under heavy acceleration when your fuel filters begin plugging.
Our tech department likes Glow Flow and Glow Shift and all that. It ensures their job security. Gives them job security.
Fuel is expensive. Will this system save me money at the pump?
Depends on your right foot. Go into our series that we're talking about on air separation, what it does for your fuel injection system, what it does for your power, your performance, your regens if you have a DPF on there. it will increase it. Now, will you be able to see the increase? I don't know, because I don't know how you track it now. I don't know if you're just checking tank to tank, but here's where the people that I've used that tell me that I'm confident in getting a fuel mileage increase, besides the physics that we've been talking about. You can't argue the physics, you could just argue what the ROI and how much benefit there is. I've had fleet owners come into me, they talk to me, they say, okay, I'm thinking of two in particular where they had dedicated routes, dedicated fuel stops, and dedicated loads. And they could tell from stop to stop what was going on in the increase, okay? But also, there's guys out there, people that know that weather affects, so you have to average it out over the years and see that, and they've seen that increase that we've given to them. That's why I say on a semi, there's 0.4 of a mile per gallon to be had. Okay, on a lot of the pickups, if I was talking about hot shotters, I've heard about 1.5 miles to the gallon increase. Then I heard of people with just hauling empty, just bobbing, tailing around. I've heard from 1 to 3 more miles to the gallon. Duramaxes I've heard from 3 to 3.5. But also, I want to be conservative here. I've heard some people say that I didn't know if I got any. But you know what? If they drive like me, I don't care. I love these Biden gold prices on fuel, and I want to burn more of it. I'm being sarcastic, Biden or Brandon. What's your name? Is it?
He doesn't
Let's go,
know.
Brandon.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, that's right. His wife said quit doing that. He thinks his name is Brandon.
So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to.
And by the way, this is a very conservative company, FASS Fuel Systems. If you don't like that, don't buy from us.
Do you plan on designing a system for the 2022 and up L5P Duramaxes?
Yes. To put that in absolutely as simple as possible, yes.
And we have some surprises coming up for that one.
Yes, we do. We do. We've really enjoyed doing these Q&A videos. I don't know about you, but I've enjoyed it.
Just give us a little bit more detail when you ask the questions. Like that dozer question, great question. Give us a year, give us a size, maybe a color, then we can tell it's Caterpillar or not. But no, that's not even true anymore. But give us some details on how you operate it, what's going on, that we can give you a more accurate answer, or we're going to be more generic and kind of cover a broader range. But it will help your dozer.
Yeah, and please keep these questions coming. We're going to keep the videos coming.